Hello, and a warm welcome to our weekly show, Love Athletics. In this program, we bring you the latest highlights from our sport with expert input from different continental areas. And we're thrilled to have today as our guest Spanish broadcaster journalist José Luis López. Hola, José Luis. Lovely to see you, and a big thank you for joining us.
Hello, Anna. It's a great pleasure for me to participate in Love Athletic with you and with all our athletics friends around the world.
José Luis, you're a top journalist, but especially a great lover of our sport. Tell us, how did you become involved?
I remember being a dreamy and lonely kid who loved to run. In 1976, I was playing the Montreal Olympics. I go to learn the names of all the athletes and then go down a road near my house. I would say I was a particular athlete, and I ran desperately towards a goal that I had set at 100, 200 or 400 steps, depending of the event is represented. And so on, one athlete after another until the final was completed. Also, I organized long jump and triple jump competition on my own, although I had no jump pit in which to land. And then my great imagination led me to make a great journalistic display of the event that I created on my own. I interviewed myself in language invented according to the athlete I was representing, and I would put together a newspaper just for myself. That was the beginning of my vocation as a journalist and my love for athletics. Only 5 years later, that fantasy athletics became a reality. I took part in races on a real track, and I started to publish my first articles in newspapers and magazines. The first one, Atletas, was directed by my friend Carlos Martin. I was only 17 years old. In 1984, I made my debut at the Zurich meetings with Cadena Ser, the most important radio station in Spain, and met my great idol, Carlos. 12 years later, I interviewed him at the Atlanta Olympic Games for television, and I said to him, "Thanks for all the memories, Carl. I will always be grateful to all the athletes who have inspired me to continue my journey in all my radio or TV programs in any competition around the world."
Now, José Luis, you gave us a great technical analysis of your favorite athletics moment of 2021. But now we want to know, what were your 3 favorite moments throughout your career?
Wow, it's very difficult to choose just a few moments. In these 40 years that I have been working in athletics, I have experienced many unforgettable moments. Among them, Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record in Berlin. I think Bolt is the best marketing campaign in the history of athletics. To see a human being running 45 kilometers per hour, majestic, imposing, accelerating so many meters with steps up to 3 meters long and such short contact times is impressive. And to narrate it live is a dream. Between 2007 and 2009, in just 3 years, the 100-meter world record improved by 1900ths of a second, almost the same as in 40 years from Jim Hines' 9.95 in 1978. It was the culmination of a great revolution in sprinting. For me, Usain Bolt is the greatest ever. Another unforgettable moment is Cathy Freeman's victory in the 400 meters at the Sydney Olympics. It represents much more than an Olympic medal. Above all, it's the vindication of women athletics, the culmination of the struggle of women athletes to gain the same prominence as men. And I am very feminist in this aspect. It's probably the moment in the history of athletics that was seen in a stadium by the most spectators. And it was achieved by an Aboriginal woman who also represented the minorities, the forgotten, the persecuted, and all the women. Moreover, for me, the lighting of the Olympic cauldron by Cathy Freeman in Sydney is the most beautiful and spectacular in history. Another unforgettable moment is the victory of my friend Fermín Cacho in the 1500 meter at the Barcelona Olympic Games. This medal is the great achievement for Spanish athletics, won by an athlete from Soria, the humble land of my origins. It was one of the most exciting stories of my life. For me, it was as if all the members of my family, all my roots, were running alongside Fermín Cacho. It was marvelous.
Let's look now at what's been happening over the last 2 weeks before we come back to our guest. And we're going to start with indoor meets. The World Indoor Tour resumed in February with 2 silver level events. In Ostrava on 3rd February, best marks in the men's events were signed by Elliot Giles, who clocked a very good 3:35.93 at 1500 meters, and Swede Tobias Montler, who landed at 8:21 in the long jump and beat Olympic winner Miltiadis Tentoglu. Top performances among the women came from Poland's Anna Kielabinzinska in 400 meters with a 51:10 world lead, and from Belarus pole vaulter Irina Zuk, who took victory with 4:71. The following day in Berlin, Sweden's Mondo Duplantis improved his world lead to 6:03, and Casey Lightfoot added another centimeter to his seasonal best with 5:92. Italy's double Olympic gold medal sprinter Marcel Jacobs started the season as he had ended last year with a win in Berlin, clocking 6:51 over 60 meters for a European lead. On 5 February at the Perche en Or pole vault meet in Tourcoing, the US Chris Nielsen, the Tokyo silver medalist, improved to 6 meters 02, equaling Jeff Hartwig's 2002 indoor NACAC area record. The outdoor record is by Sam Kendricks with 6:06, climbing to equal 5th in the all-time indoor list. France triple world indoor champion and London 2012 Olympic gold medalist Renaud Lavillenie was a distant second with 5:81 in his indoor debut, but still had reasons to smile after he told L'Equipe that he had been unable to clear even 5 meters 50 in training following the ankle injury which had hampered him and dampened his medal hopes in Tokyo. The 35-year-old Lavillenie has now jumped 5 meters 80 or higher, an amazing total of 163 competitions throughout his career, every one of the last 14 years from 2009 to the present. The US Matt Ludwig was third, also with 5:81. On the women's side, Irina Zuk improved her world lead to 5:77. More fabulous meetings focusing on jumps in Hustopece high jump meet on February 5th. Korean Sang-hyuk Woo won a high quality event with 2 meters 36 ahead of the US Juvon Harrison with 2:32. The 25-year-old Wu improved his national indoor record 4 times throughout the competition, clearing 2:28, 2:32, 2:34, and finally 2:36. He continues his progression on the world stage after taking World Under-18 gold in 2003 bronze at the World Under 20 in 2:14, and placing fourth with 2:35 at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. At the Serbian Indoor Championships on the same day, Ivana Spanovic, now competing under her married name Vuleta, landed a world lead of 6 meters 85. She had an excellent series of jumps, with the other attempts between 6:62 and 6:83. And she looks determined to increase her already full set of world indoor medals in the same arena next month at the World Championships. On the other side of the Atlantic, 2 top marks were registered in Albuquerque, USA. Nigeria's Favor Ofili set an African record over 200 meters with 22:71, while Jonathan Jones of Barbados posted the world lead over 600 meters with 1:15:12, which is an equal 7th in the all-time lists. Then the first gold meeting of February was the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix, which was moved from Boston to New York and took place on the 6th of February, recording some excellent performances. Spain's Adel Mechal clocked 7 minutes 30:82 at 3,000 meters and setting a European indoor record, a dominant performance as the runner-up was over 6 seconds behind. It was still a very deep field, with 5 other athletes dipping under 7:40, all setting PBs or national records in the process, including Luis Grijalva of Guatemala with a 7:37:42 national record. Grijalva is a U.S. college student and was a finalist last year over 5,000 at the Tokyo Olympics. Another Spanish success in New York came in the 800, where Mariano Garcia clocked 1:45:12, a world lead and his best mark indoor and outdoor. Natoya Gould of Jamaica led the women's field with 1:59:82, becoming the first woman under 2 minutes at 800 meters this season. High hurdler Grant Holloway had a sizzling start to his season with the 60 meters hurdles in an excellent 7:37. And Miki Briscoe completed the set of world leads at the meet with 7:07 in the women's 60 meters flat. And the other day, on Wednesday, 9 February, Mondo Duplantis faced the world best pole vaulters in his hometown in Uppsala. The Swede improved his world lead to 6 meters 04, cleared in the first attempt with a huge margin from the bar. U.S. duo Chris Nielsen and Casey Lightfoot were second and third, both with 5:92. In Mondeville, France, Brazil's Rafael Pereira equaled his South American indoor record of 7:58, placing second behind home athlete William Belosian in the 60 meters hurdles. And another second-placed athlete, 17-year-old Ethiopian Melkene Azize, clocked the best ever under 18 indoor mark at 3,000 with 7:32:95. Finally, at the Moscow Championships, pole vault world champion Angelika Sidorova became the first woman to jump 580 this season. Now, José Luis, Spanish athletes have posted very good results in this beginning of 2022. As we saw, Adel Mechal set a European indoor record. Mariano Garcia leads the season's list in the 800 meters. Spain won the inaugural DNA match ahead of England and Ireland with 6 victories in the 18 events. And Maria Perez posted a high-quality 2 hours 39:16 over the 35-kilometer race walk on 30 January. We'll talk more about that later. So, José Luis, are you optimistic about Spain's prospects in this very busy year with World Indoors, World Outdoors, and European Championships?
Yes, Spanish athletics is going through some very good years. our athletes have identified with the slogan of the Spanish Federation, passion to compete. And they really participate in the championship with passion, ambition, without fear. And there are very talented young people who ensure a great future for our athletics, like Maria Vicente and many others. Adorno is currently the Spanish sensation. After a training camp at high altitude in Kenya, he's having consecutively excellent results in road, cross-country, and indoor track with the European record in 3,000 meters. We also expect the return of Mocatir, Orlando Ortega, Ana Peleteiro. Several Spanish indoor records have already been broken this year, some such as the women's 60 meters were set 31 years ago. But there are several Spanish athletes who can also be medalists or finalists at the World Championships in Belgrade. Oregon will be a very good World Championships for Spain, maybe with a record number of medals because of the addition of our powerful race walking team. At the European Championships in Munich, I think that the Spanish athletics will among the top 5 countries' medals in the medal table and the placing table. Jordan Diaz is an incredible talent, and he's coached by the best horizontal jumps coach in the world, Ivan Pedroso. I think he will be the new world record holder in the triple jump, taking the record away from Jonathan Edwards. My friend Ivan Pedroso tells me that Jordan's training is spectacular every day. For us, he is the jewel that will boost the Spanish athletics spectacularly. But we must never forget that Jordan is an athlete thanks to Cuba.
Thank you, José Luis. Let's check what's been happening in road events and cross country. The Beppo Oita Menichi Marathon was finally held on 6 February with a domestic field only. Yusuke Nishiyama took victory in his debut at the distance with 2:07:47, a world lead, and 7 more runners dipped under 2 hours 10. In the Glanoyersa half marathon, Kenya's Purity Chemutai Komena smashed the course record and her PB with 67:18, ahead of Ethiopia's Ethlemayu Sintayehu with 69:35. And Mike Boyd made it a Kenyan double, taking the men's race with 60:40, ahead of Ethiopia's Antenayel Dagnachu. European Club Cross-Country Championships in Oeiras, Portugal also took place the same day. In the senior race, Burundian Rodrigo Quizera, who has excelled on the circuit at the end of 2021 with 3 wins in gold level events, took a clear victory for his Spanish club, Playas de Castellón, ahead of Uganda's Oscar Chelimo, competing for Italian club Casone Noceto, and former Ethiopian Hiko Tonoso Hasso, now running for Ireland, representing DSDAC. And the team title for the men, senior men, went to Turkey's Ankara Ego Club, led by Polat Kemboy Arikan in 6th. The senior women's race saw victory for Spain-based Ethiopian Likina Amebao, already on the podium in this season in 3 World Cross Tour gold events, leading her club Playas de Castellón to victory. The podium was completed by 2021 champion Kenya's Fancy Cherono, competing for Portugal's Sporting Club Braga, and Tigist Gesho. Now, Tigist won the 1,500-meter gold at the World Under-18 Championships in Donetsk in 2013 for Ethiopia. She now competes for Bahrain and was representing Tel Aviv's Ali Runners Club. Irish twins Dean and Dylan Casey dominated the men's under-20 race, also winning the team title for Ennis Track Athletics Club. And Finland's under 20 3,000 meter champion, Ilona Mononen, took the under 20 women's race, while success in the teams went to Romania's AC Mica Roma. Playas de Castellón, anchored by Uganda's Winnie Nanyondo, notched up another gold with the inaugural mixed relay. Now, José Luis, Playas de Castellón is traditionally a very strong club in Spain, and they are maintaining this tradition in this early part of 2022.
The club's competition in Spain are very interesting. Playas de Castellón has a great team, but Football Club Barcelona just won the Spanish Indoor Cup over Playas de Castellón last week, with everything being decided in the last event, the relays. So it was very exciting. I think that outdoors there will continue to be a great battle between those two teams on the men's side.
And the club system in Spain is very strong. Tell us about it.
In Spain, we must always highlight the work carried out by the clubs, in addition to all the victories they have achieved in European club competitions. They have small budgets, it's true, but they have a lot of enthusiasm, tradition, and vocational people who work every day for athletics. Playas de Castellón is an example of a job very well done for years, but also Football Club Barcelona, or in women's athletics, Valencia, with thanks to the wonderful work of Rafa Blanquer and all his team for 40 years, is the great reference of clubs in Spain. But apart from these great clubs, in almost any town in Spain, there is modest and historic athletic clubs that carry out excellent social work. Probably the Spanish model of athletics clubs is the best in the world, but the problem is that they don't have the budget.
The South American Race Walking Championships were held on 5-6 February in Lima, Peru, and saw the host country take gold in both men's events, while Ecuador dominated among the women, and Colombia took both under 20 titles. So Cesar Rodriguez took the 20K title in 1:23:01 ahead of Brazil's Caio Bonfim by just 7 seconds, while Luis Henry Campos took the 35 kilometers in 2:40:19 ahead of Ecuador's Gonzalo Bustan. The under 20 10 kilometers titles went to Colombians Mateo Romero, 44:08, and Mariana Rincon in 49:26, respectively. In the women's races, former under-18 world champion Glenda Morejon took a dominant win at 20K in 1:31:10 ahead of Peru's Kimberly Garcia Leon, and Ecuador swept the podium at 35K, led by Paula Perez with a 2:48:27, a new South American record. José Luis, new world record distances have been approved in the race walk as the 35 kilometers replaces the 50K for both men and women. What do you think of this change?
It's a good thing. I think that it will make the race walking events more spectacular, more attractive for the spectator, and easier to broadcast on TV as it's a shorter event. And the most important thing is that men and women walkers compete over the same distances. The 50 kilometers race walk has been an epic event which will always remain in history, but renewing the distance with the 35 kilometer race walk opens up a very interesting new era where perhaps more athletes will dare to participate in both distances in the same competition, and that makes for challenges even greater.
Spain's Maria Perez posted a high-quality 2 hours 39:16 over the 35 kilometers race in Lepe on 30 January, which places her second on the young all-time lists and not far from the mark of 2 hours 38:00 requested by World Athletics to homologate a world record at the distance. Now, Spain has been a race-walking powerhouse for decades, mainly with the men. Can Maria Pérez open a golden age for Spanish women?
Maria Pérez is an excellent athlete. She is a fighter, intelligent, has a great personality. She has already been European champion, but I'm sure that's not enough for her. She's a winner. She won't be totally satisfied until she wins a world championship or an Olympic medal. I think Maria Pérez will open a second golden age for Spanish women's race walking, because the first one corresponds to María Vasco, the first female Olympic medalist in Spanish athletics, who followed in the footsteps of Maricruz Díaz, European champion at the age of 16 in Stuttgart. Race walking is always a safe bet for our athletics.
José Luis, the season is still very young, but who are the athletes who have impressed you so far?
The indoor season has started very interesting, both in Europe and the USA. The World Indoor Tour, I think that is a great idea and has increased the level and prestige of indoor athletics. I look at Mondo Duplantis because he has already passed the 6-meter pole vault in 3 competitions this year. From him, everything seems to be very easy. I like him because Mondo is an athlete who never hides, always takes risks, always puts on a show. I think he can break the world record again this year. And Beriju Areguawi's 3,000-meter time in Karlsruhe is also excellent, 7.26.20, 7 seconds faster than his outdoor 3,000-meter time last year. I saw him run in Barcelona on the road a few weeks ago, and I think he's the best young long-distance runner in the world. He's only 20 years old, and for me, it's a great symbol of the new athletics, of the revolution that has taken place in the last 3 years, in spite of the pandemic, where a generation of incredible young people have taken the lead and are determined to lead a new era that will change the history of our sport.
Now, as well as being a broadcaster, you also teach in university. Tell us about that side of your career.
Yes. I believe that to be a good athletic broadcaster, you first have to know a lot about athletics. And besides loving the sport, knowing how to communicate and having historical and statistical knowledge or literary skills, you also have to know athletics from a technical point of view. I am an athletics coach. I am on the track every day. I have been able to work with great athletes like Dairon Robles and many other world and Olympic medalists from all over the world. Besides, I am a PhD in physical activity and sport science, and I am a professor of athletics at the University of Barcelona. That's why I like to do many biomechanical studies at major championships, do research, teach athletics, and learn every day from my fellow coaches, teachers, and above all, from the athletes. One day, a journalist said about me that I was a Renaissance man. Renaissance man because I do so many things at the same time. I always say that if you are passionate about athletics, don't just do one part of it. No. Run, narrate, train, write, research, analyze, teach, travel around the world, live athletics to the fullest. And that is, I have done all my life, always trying to do it with the highest possible quality and respect.
Do you see a passion for athletics among your students?
The best thing that my students say about me is that I bring them my passion for athletics. And I hope that this has an effect. Some of my students have gone on to work in professional athletics, such as Mark Roach, an athlete, and currently Eliud Kipchoge is physiotherapist in Kenya. And at the university, every year, there are a few students who choose to specialize in athletics with me, and several of them are already excellence coaches. If you know how to transmit athletics well, it touches everyone's heart, because it's the most universal sport, the one that best connects with the nature of the human being.
Now, someone who certainly does have a passion for athletics is co-Olympic gold medal high jumper Gianmarco Tamberi, but he has another love too, basketball. On Wednesday, he announced on Twitter that he had been selected to play in the NBA Celebrity Game, All-Star Game next Friday, 18 February. And he accompanied the message with simply the best news of my life. And as a foretaste, he posted a video as he dribbles and shoots. Unfortunately, there are three more top athletes who passed away recently, the first two both on 11 January. Hammer thrower Klaus Ploghaus of the Federal Republic of Germany passed away aged 66. He was a finalist at the first World Championship in Helsinki and an Olympic bronze medalist in 1984, as well as winning two Universiade gold medals in 1979 and 1981. Middle distance runner Siegfried Valentin of the German Democratic Republic passed away age 85. He had set three world records, at the first at 1500 in 1960, but also two 4x1500 meter relays in 1958 and 1963. And finally, 400 meter hurdler Warren J. Rex Colley of the US passed away aged 81. He had set the world record in September 1964 at the US trials and went on to win Olympic gold the following month. Finally, let's take a look at the top events in the coming weeks as we reach the end of our program. Russia's Olympic champions Maria Lasitskene will make her indoor debut in the high jump meet in Banska Bystrica on 15 February and will challenge the world lead of 195, jointly held by Britain's Emily Borthwick and Montenegro's Maria Vukovic. Korea's world leader Sang-Geok Ho leads the men's field. On the World Indoor Tour, 3 gold events will take place in the next fortnight: in Liévin on 17 February, Birmingham on 19 February, and Toruń, Poland on 22 February. South American Indoor Championships are scheduled for 19 and 20 February in Cochabamba, Bolivia. On the World Cross Country Tour, the Agnes Tirop Memorial will take place on 12 February in Eldoret, with many Kenyan and international champions announced in the race, honoring slain 2015 World Cross Country gold medalist. Eldoret was supposed to be the last gold level event on the tour, but the calendar had to be reshuffled as 3 gold events were postponed due to the pandemic. And the first of these, the Cross Cup in Hanot, Belgium, is now scheduled for 20 February. On the roads, we have upcoming the Lagos Marathon on 12 February, the Ras El Khaimah Half Marathon on 19 February, which announced Helen Obiri, the outdoor, indoor, and cross-country world champion, now focusing on road races, against marathon world record holder Brigid Kosgei. In the men's race, Kenya's Titus Eriko, the fastest marathon of 2021 with 2 hours 2:57, will face half marathon world record holder 57:31 Jacob Kiplimo of Uganda and compatriot Abel Kipchunga. The Sevilla Marathon is scheduled on 20 February. So we're now at the end of our show. It was great having José Luis with us.
Many thanks to you, Anna, and many congratulations for Love Athletics. An excellent meeting place for those of us who love this sport. And to you, friends of athletics, see you very soon on any track in the world. It will be a pleasure to meet you again. Bye.
Thank you all for watching, and see you in 2 weeks on Love Athletics to look together at the highlights, comments, and analysis of what has been happening in our sport over the past fortnight. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.